Bruno coming up soon. Well, gods, they did it. IG, at times, faltered a little bit, but just so decisive, so good with their late-game decision-making. I don't think we can point to maybe a handful of mistakes, and in 2 games that went this late, that is saying something.
Yeah, I think Orange have proven that they are a team who are up there right now as one of the best sort of, I would put them in sort of a top 4, top 5 teams in the world. To actually do that to IG, force them to late game 2 games in a row, put them on the back foot 2 games in a row is amazing. And IG, it just proves that they can handle any situation thrown at them. They could start the game already behind and just come back. It shows that IG is still human, because they did fall behind, especially game 1. I thought they were probably out of game 1. And I think if Orange played game 1 a bit smarter, they do take that one. I think game 2 was more IG, their strategy took a bit of a while to come together. I don't think they got completely outplayed as badly, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think Orange was... We already knew how good IG was, right? And I think we saw how impressive Orange can be. If they play that way against MUFC or Flash, I don't really see MUFC or Flash having a shot. But it comes down to, can they play that way against other teams? Orange, to me, is kind of a team who... Sometimes they falter against weaker teams. I feel like they get a little bit sloppy, a little bit over-aggressive. And they play up to the level of the best teams like IG. So can they play up? Can they just play at that consistently high level against teams that they really should have the advantage on? I don't know. It's still possible they could get knocked out of this tournament, but I still would say they're the heavy favorites, either against MUFC or especially against Flash.
Yeah, I mean, when I see Orange play like that, I think, how have MUFC actually beaten this team on 2 recent occasions in grand finals? I think it's one of those scenarios where, it's funny, whenever I see Orange and MUFC play each other, the bans and picks just go completely different to their other games, because the 2 teams know each other so well. So a different game is in order, and I think it's completely different. I think Orange really prepared well to verse IG with their picks, their strategies, but against MUFC, it's another ballpark. But if they play like that, I definitely agree. They should win, and I'd be very surprised if Orange don't get to that LAN finals.
Guys, once again, I'm showing this playoff bracket. Just remember, Tongfu and EG, that loser of that series actually plays against DK or LGDs, or the winner of that series plays against the loser of DK versus LGD. So those 2 matches on the left should be flipped around. But otherwise, this is pretty much what we're looking at. It's going to be Tongfu or EG playing against DK or LGD. Tomorrow's match, I believe, is DK versus LGD. It's all Chinese affair. I gotta say, I favor DK heavily in that one. We've already seen what IG can do. DK they started off, I wouldn't say floundering, but we saw that, I think most notably, that game where they picked Tiny Wisp as their 1 and 2 picks. And gods, they really just, it was a drafting mistake. It's something we haven't seen from them since then. But beyond that, I just feel like DK is starting to really understand this version, and it seems like there's not as much pressure on Bernie with the new lineup. Super has really stepped this game up. Reminds you a lot of how Super was played in 2011 in Dota 1. And I think DK might be the scariest team outside of IG in this tournament. They've certainly looked like it thus far.
Yeah, I think DK, they've gotten past that first slip up against Orange, and since then it's just been in cruise control mode. I don't think they should... I don't think they will lose to LGD. I think it comes down to LGD to up their game, up their sort of understanding with their picks, their bans. They can't keep playing like it's TI2 with the metagame. Things have changed. They really have to adopt a new style of play, and they've had moments where they've looked good, but really they just haven't been consistent enough. And LGD are a team, even they could lose to DK, and then they drop down and verse the winner of EG and Tongfu, and that's another matchup which I feel they do well against EG, but Tongfu could even put up a bit of a fight there as well.
Yeah, Tongfu is a team that's been on the rise too. Not to the extent DK has, where DK looks like they fully gel more or less, and that goes back to having more veteran members, players like QQQ357, or as he's also known, and Die, or MMY or X. God, so many names for those guys. I love to use them all because I like them all. But, having these veterans who also have experience playing with Burning, it does make it easier to adapt and sort of quickly get up to speed as a team. But I think Tongfu's shown, taking a game off of Orange, they looked pretty solid in that series, and even to be able to take 1 game off them, it says they're not a team that you can just write off. And out of those 4 teams, I'd say MUFC the most likely to have a shot at advancing, but then I'd think Tongfu is the sort of the next team in that respect as far as the LAN finals go.
Yeah, Tongfu against LGD, I mean, LGD I would give the advantage to, but I think Tongfu have a chance. The other team, I'd say the one sort of dark horse could be Flash. I mean, if they really just up their level of play and just, if things come together with their aggression, they're a team who play, I mean, it reminds me of some of the CIS teams when they just go super aggressive. They'll pull out something like a crazy Pudge pick. If they manage to make that work, they've got MUFC and Orange, and this is like a dream bracket for them. If they had teams like Tongfu, DK, or LGD, I'd say no, they're out. They don't have a chance. But they have Orange and MUFC, and they're two teams Flash know really well. Sure, they've lost to them in the past. They've had really close games against Orange, but this is about as good a bracket as Flash could get. So I'd say they have a chance, which is more than I'd say if they were up against a team like DK or LGD in potentially the second round. They don't have that.
All right, tomorrow, gods. Predictions. What are you expecting to see from... it is DK versus LGD, right? I didn't actually look at the schedule. I'm just pretty sure.
Yes.
What's your prediction? What do you expect to see from that match?
Well, I think LGD are going to... I hope they don't play it safe, but I think that's kind of where they go. We're going to see them look to get their sort of trademarked heroes for Yao. They want to get him his Invoker, get him those strong solo mid heroes. Maybe we even see some anti-mage play. Maybe they sort of revert back to that hard carry type play, which they've been most successful with. The Lone Druid as well, a hero which they may have to resort to getting for Sylar. With Morphling no longer an option, I feel LGD are a bit more limited in their strategies. For DK, it's really a scenario where they will go with what they think is strongest. Burning has just been upped his level of play. They've changed their strategies to reflect the new metagame, and I think it's up to LGD to sort of figure them out and figure a way where LGD can play it safe, but also safe in a way that they know what DK are doing and can counter them.
I agree. I think it is DK's series to lose. Not only do they have sort of more of a star-studded lineup a little bit, they've just been playing much better. And it even goes beyond this tournament in Dota 2. They played incredibly well in WCG China. And that's, sure, DK is a team that I think is a little bit more known for their Dota 1 accomplishments, but to even take games off of IG at all and to be on the verge of claiming first place in that event, that is seriously impressive. So I'm with you. I think it's DK series to lose. I think they take it 2-0. But LGD is a team that's strong enough. If they have a good start, if they jump out to a one-game lead, it really becomes a wide-open series. So, guys, that's what we have for you tomorrow at 20 SGT. It'll be DK facing off against LGD, the second round of 6 match or round 2 match to go. And after that, we dive into what I guess you could call the losers or the lower bracket. I believe the first one to come out is actually MUFC versus Flash, but we'll let you know more about the schedule later. Don't have it right next to me tomorrow. For now, what you need to know, DK versus LGD kicks off 20 SGT. Let's try that again. DK versus LGD kicks off 20 SGT tomorrow. We'll both be casting that one again, and do apologize for some of the sort of snafus along the way with all the additional stuff we're doing with pregame. We'll figure out a system. I'll get better with the XSplit, but I hope you guys did enjoy the additional content, and if you have feedback on what you'd like to see differently, or what we could improve on, we're still working on it. So first of all, cut us some slack, but also if you have anything you want to suggest to us, politely of course, then we're definitely open to that.
Yeah, we'd love feedback on how everything went today. We've kind of added in some new components with our intro videos and various other stuff. We'll look to keep on expanding on that. LD will look to keep on messing up the overlays as much as possible. But no, it's been great, and I'm excited for tomorrow's matches. As much as I think DK going to the favorites, I'm going to go on a limb, and I think LGD may win it 2-1. That's my prediction. Even though I think LDK are favorites, I'm predicting LGD to win it 2-1.
Guys, you heard it here first. GoDz is calling it a 2-1 victory in favor of LGD, and when he's wrong tomorrow, you can all yell at him. I'm just kidding, but yeah, I like that. Take a bit of a ballsy risk there. I respect that, GoDz. I think that wraps it up for today. I don't think Bruno's going to be awake yet, so can't really. We'll check, but I don't think he's going to be around for the Fantasy League. Speaking of which, damn it, I forgot to switch my roster. Whoops, I just lost your face, and now I'm losing my Skype as well. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I still hear you, but my Skype is frozen. Uh-oh.
That ain't good.
No, you're back. You're back. Okay. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. GoDz predicting LGD 2-1 victory. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go with DK winning 2-0. We'll be back here, same time, same place. Might even start a tiny bit earlier for more of a proper pregame, but it should kick off around 20 SGT. If you want to catch the full pregame action, be a little bit beforehand, and we will be making VODs of the pregame and the postgame, so if you missed it, if you want to catch up on it or you want to share it with your friends, they'll be available as well. For now, any of the action you missed will be available on YouTube. YouTube.com/ldDOTA, YouTube.com/godzstudios. If you enjoy GoDz's casting, be sure to follow, support him. Facebook, Twitter.com/ggnetgodz. For me, it's Facebook, Twitter.com/ldDOTA. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you. How long is it? A little under, around 18 hours or so? Something like that. We'll see you tomorrow at 20 SGT, guys. DK versus LGD, an all-Chinese affair. Should be a blast.